Good afternoon and welcome to Take One with Ronnie Lloyd Nanos. My name is Ronnie Lloyd Nanos and I'll be your host today, and this is the virgin episode of Take One. It's the only virgin here today, I'm sure. But welcome, Las Vegas. It's a nice hot day in Vegas, as you can see in the background here. It looks really hot, right? Right, it's hot in Vegas. Today our guests are a plethora of artists in the Vegas community that are involved in so many things, from burlesque, live theater, film, and I'm really excited to do this today. And what's different about Take One as opposed to any other kind of entertainment interview show in Vegas? Well, for me, it's actually a chance to speak candidly and discuss the real issues and real things that happen. Again, we're here to, yes, elevate and do some wonderful things and talk about art and talk about entertainment. But we also want it to be a show that people watch and learn something, such as the ins and outs and the plus and minuses of the industry. And our first guests here are currently the producers of the Golden Legends Championship Challenge, which is having its first time being done in Las Vegas. Their names are Bones and Gabby. So, hi Bones and Gabby, how are you all today?
I'm good. Thank you for having us, Ron.
Welcome, and guys, you are the first two. You're here to pop my cherry today.
Ooh,
well, you're popping mine.
Yeah, awesome. But again, I wanted to invite you all on to let's get all the stuff out of it. Let's talk about what you're doing this week here in Las Vegas.
This week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we are having the 9th annual Golden Legends Champion Challenge. And what this is about is we take some of the top some of the top performers, we ask them to mentor for us, and they take some of the best up-and-comers and performers in the industry that want to up their game. They mentor them in burlesque, but something that's unique is that act is a never-before-seen act. It's hard enough to debut a new act after you've rehearsed it over and over. But to do something that you've never put on a stage before is almost really hard.
For competition, because usually a lot of people do it 3 or 4 times in a bar, at least minimum, before they take it somewhere else.
Oh, absolutely. Coming as a performer, I know I come from that perspective. And very often when I create a new number, I usually don't feel like I've even hit its groove till about 3 or 4 times. Performers are like, oh, how did the audience react? So this makes it nice and cold, and kind of like, here it is in your face, and it's brand new. I wanted to ask, comparatively, Las Vegas is the home of a lot of kind of big burlesque events, from Burlesque Hall of Fame, etc. I think there's now going to be the new Sin City Burlesque Festival. There used to be a Las Vegas Burlesque Festival here that's no longer here anymore. What is different about GLCC? And again, how does it compare as far as, Burlesque Hall of Fame is like the Olympics, the world-class events. Will we see world-class performers in this?
Absolutely.
But what's different from this two?
We have all different skill levels, styles.
Nice.
Genders, all body sizes, colors. The ages just range rampant, and I just love that this is all inclusive.
Nice. Again, while we were talking about, do you think that some festivals aren't quite as inclusive? We're not here to talk bad about anybody. It's not that. But I think a lot of performers that go in, and these are big conversations in the burlesque community. For some reason, strippers are up in arms about the most, these big social issues and whatnot. I'm like, half the time I'm like, we take our fucking clothes off. Why are we making a deal out of it? And that's my perspective. I don't like to put that on other people. These things are important issues. Absolutely. I just sometimes I wish, hey, let's just get up there and fucking perform. But why do you think, this is a little different?
Well, the legends was what makes it different. When we jumped into this and we talked to our supporting legends, they were like, let's make sure that we celebrate us and make this program about being better, about making the industry a little better. I can't speak on other festivals. I really can't.
Good.
I've been in a few of what I call a commercial festival, and we love it. We're going to continue to do it.
Right. I think you guys recently did, if I'm correct, Mile High Burlesque Festival, run by Corvette and Scott Happel, actually, out there in Denver.
Yes, it was a wonderful time.
I've never done that festival. I've never done
I'm going to tell you, It's a really good festival.
It's a stoner festival.
It's a
How
stoner
what can be good
The
about it?
best gift bags in the industry.
Oh, I bet. It's a legal weed. I work in Vegas because
And I love everybody's performances.
Awesome,
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
You know, we were just talking there on some things, you know, being better or whatnot. I know, you know, this is your guys' first year doing this festival. And to address the elephant in the room, I said we were going to do that again. And for our watchers and people, you know, when people get a new festival that you purchased from with her, I'm again Gabriella Mays. I don't always see eye to eye with Gabriella, and I'm like, and I love her. We're friends, and that's the thing that we're going to address too. Is like, you know, sometimes with your friends you don't see eye to eye, and then people make it a big deal, and you're enemies, and people get a little tribal. You know, you're either on one side, you're on this one, and I know you've had to kind of come into that in this festival, going as these new owners, and you're doing some things different, and that's understood. You know, some of those issues people question, they feel like they have to take a side. You know, I come from the original generation of GLCC as a mentor, and I came in this year as a protege. What are some of the ups and downs that have happened this year? Again, we're not here to annihilate anybody. We're here to go, hey, it's difficult sometimes. We don't know.
The difficult part has been there's no real resume for things. We can't come in and say, hey, I've been producing this long, and the first thing we get is, well, not burlesque.
I get that.
And then we've also been very set on, hey, this is a business, and we're putting a business model to it as an educational festival. And there's people don't know how to receive that because they're so used to, hey, it's done this way, it's done this way. Well, we're bringing some new, fresh ideas in the structuring of how a festival, or especially an educational festival, might want to look.
No, absolutely. Again, I think earlier we were talking about, I know some people had the issue with the hashtag be better, blah, 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 and interpret it as like they think they're better than the last one. And I'm like, here's your place to clear the air on that. What, you know, with these hashtags.
So part of my life is always the next day, the next moment, being better. Being better than my 20s.
Oh, I know that feeling. Absolutely.
Being better than my childhood. And each year, I want to be better in my burlesque. I want to be better entertainer. I want to be a better friend.
Right.
So it's always about improving ourselves. And I looked up hashtags, and we found hashtags that go with our group and also promote and bring in the algorithm.
So to put this out there, to have a definite answer, was be better, was it a strike to that you think it's going to be better than the original one, or is it like, no, it's
a personal
because
challenge.
it's an educational festival. We are about being better, performers. That's the whole reason why we're getting mentored.
So it was not a strike down to the festival.
There
you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
I should have foreseen it. I'm sorry.
You know what? I think nowadays too. Again, we're talking about things in the industry, and even with social media network. Here we are. That often when we say things, people are going to interpret it. It's going to fit whatever their agenda, where they're coming from, and whatnot. It doesn't make the people wrong. It just makes people. It's different perspectives. And again, some people took "be better" as oh my gosh, they're putting down the original and whatnot. I mean, you know, and I heard those things. I talked to a lot of these people. I, you know a few people in this community, and I'm like, I didn't see it that way personally myself. I understood where they're coming from because they're like, well, listen, everyone gets a little, lack of better words, fucking butthurt over crap, and I mean, it doesn't. Feelings. It's not that. Again, I'll take that aspect. I mean, they're gonna call me whatever the fuck. I don't care. But it's just those things of. Often, I think when we go on social media, I get that as a boss, as an employer, as a producer, and working in the fields. I usually am in the hiring person or in charge, and often you're like, if I say this, someone's gonna think I mean this. And through time, I know this was your all's first festival. And I didn't personally think "be better" meant that, but I know some people. Being
better, and then it was hashtag mentorship matters.
Yes.
There were other
GLCC, the Golden Legends. It was about tying us up. Because do you know GLCC, that acronym goes for a lot of organizations.
I knew that. Did you know what this one actually stood for, what it was made for?
Yes,
what is
I do. Glitter. Life. community and
And
courage.
But did you know when Gabby created what that actually is? I'll tell y'all. Those are actually her initials for her real name. Did you know that? I knew that. I only know because I know her.
Mhm.
But that's what GLCC. The acronym comes from her actual initials to her Muggle name.
All right.
There we go. See, we all learn,
Mhm.
and that's the point. Again, and that's a great thing. Again, I am friends with Gabby. I talked to her on the phone yesterday. Have the lines of communication in time, have they improved at all? Has there been any kind of reach out? And again, people want to know that too, because often we don't see that. Has there
I
been
don't
any kind
feel
of...
anything from her. Like, we haven't gotten any negative.
But has there been
yeah.
any correspondence since all
Yes,
the hoopla?
actually, yes. And we said we would like to open up the lines of communication.
again.
There you have it,
We
people.
are really busy this next 2 weeks, and we said we'd hit her up afterwards.
See, there you got it again, and that's what I think. I think that helps people kind of move on and going, you know what? The people that are having this issue that people feel tribal on, if they're talking and lines of communication are open, then maybe, what the fuck do I know? Maybe we should stay out of it and let those people handle it themselves. Again, people can get mad at me because I said that. I said, like, hey, it's between them. Let them handle it. I think people tend to feel like you have to pick a side, and I just come from the perspective of I'm a human being, and I want to understand and whatnot. Again, I haven't known you all as long as that, but you've never done anything to me personally. Have we ever had a heated conversation where I lost my temper?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I do that with my best friends. I do that with family members. Again, I'm a human being, and maybe that makes me a toxic male. I don't care. And I'm a human being. And what happens with that is I think people are afraid to disagree because then they think it makes you enemies. And you can't say something heatedly and have an argument. And then, okay, we had that. We both said our piece, and now we move on. It doesn't mean we're enemies. And you guys came to my bar in Texas after all that, and we had a wonderful time.
We certainly did. And thank you, by the way.
Oh, no, thank you all.
You hosted, and it was wonderful.
Well, thank you all for coming. I always like to do that to any performers, any artists that ever come through Amarillo, Texas. Come to my bar in Amarillo. They are in our bar. There we go. Oh, we're at, guys, this went by so quick, but
yeah.
One thing that I'm known for, I do called a Drunk Cam in R&R. I actually do another private kind of show called Have a Drink with Pistol Holiday. I did an interview with burlesque legend Tiffany Carter on that just a few months ago. We always like to end our segments. I'm a bar owner, and people think I'm this huge drinker. I'm not a stoner, but I'm
right.
But we also like to do a thing of you are welcome to have a shot with me.
We will have a
Would you
shot.
like to have a shot with me?
And while we drink this, remember, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, August 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Yes.
Doors open at 7. Red carpet is from 7:15 to 7:45, and 8 p.m. is the show. Thursday and Friday are competition, and Saturday is our award and showcase, like the MTV Awards.
Oh, and there also is a red carpet.
Yes.
The red carpet, I wanted to add that we're at Got Films here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and Got Films is sponsoring the red carpet for this event. So thank you, Jeremy Settles and Got Films and everybody. Jeremy is a wonderful, wonderful filmmaker here in Las Vegas to work with. He's done so much for the community out here. And so thank you, Jeremy Settles and Got Films, for sponsoring the red carpet for GLCC. Well, guys,
you can find us on Eventbrite under Golden Legends Champion Challenge, or at our website at goldenlegends.org.
And also, the mentors have classes on Thursday and Friday, so make sure you look up their classes on Eventbrite for Golden Legends Champion Challenge classes.
And I also come from that perspective, whether you're doing burlesque, film, anything, go to class, educate yourselves, improve, and always work your craft and your art form. I don't think we're ever too advanced to not improve ourselves, to be better.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
And put it in your mouth. Don't make it weird. It's fine. Here's to GLCC. Let's have a kick-ass time this week. Awesome. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much. And we're going to take a break right now and bring in our next guests, which are Kane and Candace Blust, the directors and producers of the short film Lucille that was shot here in Las Vegas. We'll see you in a bit.
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak. If you want to buy or sell a home, Call Michelle, 702-683-6576.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
What affects your credit? The answer can be many things. Let's take a look at a few of the most common factors and how they can impact your credit. Credit history. In order to have a credit score, you need to have open and active credit accounts. This gives you the opportunity to build a credit score and get approved for larger purchases such as a car or a home. So it's important to have a responsible record of debt repayment. Available credit and usage. The rule of thumb is to use 30% of your available credit to minimize the impact of debt on your credit score. In other words, the less credit you use, the better. Monthly on-time payments. By making sure your monthly payments are paid on time, you could boost your credit score. Late payments, however, may bring your score down. Errors on your credit report. Check your credit report regularly to make sure it's accurate. If there are any errors or signs of identity theft, report them immediately to the appropriate credit bureau. Applications for credit. If you're applying for credit, filling out several applications in a short amount of time may hurt your credit score. It's ideal to keep the applications to a minimum. However, there is an allowable shopping window for a mortgage. Remember, a good credit score could possibly save you in interest payments. If your credit score needs some improvement, however, consider starting with the basics mentioned here. And when you're ready to buy your dream home, give New American Funding a call. We'll help you find a home loan that works for you and your unique situation.
Hi, welcome back to Take One with Ronnie Lloyd Nanos. This is the virgin episode of this show here in Las Vegas, and we're here with our second guests, which are Kane and Candace Blust. Before I continue, guys, let me do a shout out for the last guests we had, which are Bones and Gabby. For GLCC, they actually gave 20 free tickets to veterans to come and see the Golden Legends Championship Challenge. So I think that's at vets.com where they did that. So I'm excited to have vets. I actually produced a show a few years ago where it was for Vietnam vets, and I think that's a really big, cool thing. But welcome, Kane and Candace.
Thank you for having us.
I met Kane Blust first before I met his lovely, gorgeous wife through a friend, Michael Sue. And
Yes.
Kane actually edited my second film I directed called Death Club, and since then I realized what a huge talent this guy is. I mean, what can't Kane do is the conversation amongst a lot of us. But welcome both. And Candace, I met through Kane. I think the first time I met you was at the premiere.
Yes.
And then I got to work with you two recently, which we're going to talk about this short film that you guys wrote, directed, and produced called Lucille.
Yes.
And welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you very much.
Let's tell us a little bit about yourselves, what you do. I know you have a studio and stuff. What do you guys do here in Las Vegas? This is Las Vegas Entertainment here, so go ahead.
Quite simple. Well, we both came from Hollywood.
Yay!
That's where we met and found love. We moved out here a little over 6 years ago, and like I said, I got into the business. I got to meet Michael Sue, who was fantastic. I was introduced to him by her cousin, Candace, who unfortunately passed away.
Oh, no.
But opened me to this beautiful world, which then Michael Sue introduced me to you and this entire community. So it's been a wonderful experience getting to know the more, creative side of Las Vegas.
I mean, how long have y'all lived in Las Vegas? I didn't even know that.
5 years.
Wow, I didn't even know that it's been such a short time.
It goes quick.
It does, again, and Candace, this again, That's the first time I get to have like a longer conversation with Candace. Again, you were so lovely and so organized to work with on the set, Lucille. I appreciate organization and diligence and time. I believe in that personally, and you guys, I'm going to say this straight out, such a well-run set, on time, paid their artists and performers. I know it's a thing here in Las Vegas, but I'm like, it should be a thing at least, but you were just a delight to work with. It was like, and so talented, the both of you. I mean, again, I'm not one that's known to kind of, blow smoke up people's butts and be like, oh my God, you're great, but I genuinely, from my heart, that comes, working with y'all is such a pleasure.
Right on, man. Well, we feel very blessed to work with you and the other talent that's come out to be part of Lucille, Joanne Heckman, Paul
Gunn. Yes.
We got blessed big time with the cast of this.
Honestly, we did.
I mean,
let's talk about Lucille. You know what?
go ahead,
I know a little bit about it. I'm in it, but what is the premise of Lucille? What are we going to do with Lucille? What is your long-term plans for this short?
Well, I think to start with, the idea was a dream that Kane had, and
Not surprised.
exactly. he said, "Hey, this is a dream I had," and I was like, what can we do with this? And we outlined it. I wrote the script, and we put together funds and got equipment and all the super talented people like you that agreed to come and play with us. We were so thankful that everyone came in so professional and so on it that we were able to do the shoot quickly, and then Kane could work his magic to have a final piece. So it's a story about, I would say it's a story about realizing something that's inside of you, and then how do you deal with that? How do you make it work with the way you want to run your life versus it taking over your life, like it can consume you. So absolutely. I don't know what else.
Tell me, that could be an allegory to so many things in perspectives. Again, I think often when we watch things, people are like, how that can apply to your own selves personally. Again, knowing the script that I saw it and I got those things, but you don't even realize that's what you're getting from it. That's so eloquently put. Wow.
That's why she's the writer.
I'm
I'm like, people got together and they did stuff.
No, me too. I'm like, yeah, or I'll talk forever and say nothing. Yeah, that's what it is. But wow, again, I have to completely agree with it just came together, the whole group, the story. I got to watch it later than the rest of the cast. I think I was on another project or doing something where I couldn't watch it the day of, and again, what are your plans to do? I know Lucille recently was in a festival, is being considered for some awards.
Yes.
Yay! But let's talk about that festival.
Yeah, it's the Independent Shorts Award in Los Angeles. They do a monthly competition. So for the month of July, we were first in official selection, and then we are finalists. So that means we get considered for the annual awards next April. As far as like taking home, all of the gold. But we finalist for July. It's an honor. We're really happy.
That's really any other festivals you're considering submitting to?
Quite a few, actually.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Next up is the San Jose Shorts Festival.
Very awesome. Again, it was really neat. Again, last year working with Kane, and we had worked on the second film I had directed, Death Club, and Kane not only was our editor, also did our VFX. And also submitted some of his original music to this film, and which the music was outstanding. It was kind of neat when those things. I come from a generation. I know it's always hard to connect some people to see if they're going to find what your vibe is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And King kind of knew what my vibe was very quickly. I was like, yeah, I would love that. Musically, I'm an old Gen Xer, and. I know what I like, and he knew it. In fact, it was kind of crazy. We have a composer who did and I love him. He's great, Ricardo Gerhard. Wonderful.
Fantastic work. Yeah.
But sometimes you needed, again, for a movie like Death Club, I needed some like original stuff, and it's kind of funny. Kane would send me, pieces where he would edit, and he'd insert some of his own music, and I was like, I kind of like that. Do you have anything that's not a cover that's really cool? And then he sent me stuff. So I was like, I didn't know, but it was kind of like, I'm kind of seeing if you like this.
Well, I mean, that's how you get stuff in there. The thing is that you gave me such a wonderful opportunity to just be creative. So not just to edit, but I really felt part of the story. I felt like as I was doing the visual effects, I'm like, everything just feels like, man, I'm part of this.
Nice.
You created such a wonderful environment. Not to mention the fact it was so well organized that editing was just a joy. It was like, okay, I found everything I looked for. It was just so well put together. And then you give me the creative to do that add some songs in, and just come up with some ideas for special effects.
It's really cool. We have it's back to the basics. I always do it wrong online. I do apologize. I'm like, it's called this, Ronnie. You need to get it right. But there is a music video for that on YouTube from the film Death Club, and I got to add that Death Club will actually be released in October around Halloween through Patel Films.
Heck yeah.
And it'll be streaming on Amazon and Tubi and all those things. So look for it, guys. But that was the great thing of working. Again, I met you through Michael Sue. Michael Sue, I think, is a master in so many things.
Absolutely.
And I was talking with my last guest here, and you guys moved here from Hollywood to Vegas. Do you think the industry in Vegas and Hollywood, what are the differences in getting films and getting work done as opposed to being in LA and being here? Are there pros? Are there cons? What's your perspective on that?
I found it to be, moving to Vegas was probably the best choice for me. In California, it's so flooded. The industry is so flooded, and who's going to look at a 50-year-old dude who's, loves doing what he does?
Right.
There's so many young people to go for it.
I know that feeling.
So coming out here and getting into the industry the way I did, and being able to meet so many people on the same page and the same kind of perspective who get the same morals and joy of being a creator.
Nice.
I mean, I've been able to work with you, Michael Sue. I've worked with Asif on Film Post. I'm sorry, I'm bad at names.
No, that's okay.
But Film Post is
mine
another,
too.
Yeah, Film Post is another production company out here that's just doing some fantastic stuff, and they've been nice enough to have me do some visual effects for them. And so it's just the industry out here. I found the pond's a little bit smaller,
Right.
so you have a little bit more access to the different kinds of talent out there. And there's so much, like just right here, Got Films. I had no idea 3 blocks from my house there was this massive, incredible production house.
Right. And
But there
Jeremy's
is.
great.
Oh, Jeremy's awesome.
And Jeremy's great, and he's always so magnanimous. I've been on sets in places, or even red carpets, where he lends equipment and what that. And he's so hands-on, and I've gotten work through Jeremy. Gotten work for Jeremy too. It's one of those.
That's the
when you
thing.
build people, and again, when you work with people, you remember the people you work with, and they did this for me, and it was a great experience. And I think a lot of people forget that is how you progress in the industry.
We're all here to create.
And you touched on something just a minute ago, being a 50-year-old dude, going into this industry. When did you guys start working in film? Back in LA? How long has it been?
Well, in 2016, actually, with Candace, as Kane mentioned, we had a sitcom, 3 episodes that were shot, and there were networks that were going to pick it up, but unfortunately that fell through. But that was my first taste.
Nice.
Being in Hollywood, being on a set, 4-camera sitcom, a comedian that I knew, saying my lines and getting, I was just hooked. That was
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
So 2016 is when I really...
You mean I started in 2017 in film. It was never part of my plan. I kind of fell into it here. And I wanted to touch that because I think a lot of people think it's too late for them to get into the industry if you're a certain age. And I wanted to bring guests on. Again, I think everybody that's been it's going to be on our show today, I think is at least 45 and older. And that to show that we are still working, we can find it. Again, I got into film in 2017 accidentally while I was here in Las Vegas, and I wasn't even part of the plan. I'm a live performer and whatnot, but I think I wanted to touch that because I think people always feel it's too late. I didn't do it at this time, and I love to see that.
Please never give up.
Isms. There's so many isms that people are so aware of these days, and I'm like, and I was like, and I think the last ism that people still accept is ageism. And I'm like, why? I get often you'll hear someone, oh my gosh, you look good for your age. I'm like, can't you just tell someone they look good?
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
For what? Am I 80 or something?
Yes, exactly.
Well, the thing is that we're the ones with all the experience.
Yes.
We had 50 years of life that we're willing to share with everybody and be part of. You can either advance yourself with that, or you can put us down for it. It's up to you, but we're going to keep on working.
Exactly. So. I think it gives us a lot of patience that we wouldn't have. I'm naturally not a patient person. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. But I'm a lot more patient than when I was in my 20s and 30s by far.
A lot more of everything.
Well,
Yes.
Gabby touched on it really nicely. She's like, I'm not trying to be better than anybody else. I'm just trying to be better than myself.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. And
Each
again,
day I try to better myself.
I think that in any
And
project
to
I go in, I want to go in. I'm like, I want this to be better than the last project I did for me. I want to be better at this.
I hope so,
want to.
yeah.
I want to grow and learn. I think we learn at this age too, when how to put together teams. That was the great thing we were talking about today. It all came together, but it also comes with you knew the people to pick because you learn how to put teams together, and often people think they have to know everything. I'm like, at this age, I'm like, I don't know everything. I don't need to. I pull in people that know shit that I don't.
Exactly.
Always
And
pulling
that's-
people smarter than you.
Yes, and then I learn from that and get better.
Yeah.
And that's the point of it.
That's the joy of it,
fantastic.
too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this moved by so quick, guys. Oh my god, but any last words here? Let's talk about your student stuff to promote. I know Kane is also a musician. Kane is also an editor. Other stuff you guys do that people can contact you here in town if they need your services for anything. Again, I would use Kane for several things. I'd use Kane for several things that work. Let's talk a little bit here.
I think go to kaneblust.com. That's KANEBLUST.com. That's going to be the full range. I mean, he is a powerhouse production in one gorgeous package.
He can do it.
I wanted her to talk about herself. And
We can talk about Candace.
Yes.
I was like, look at this.
Well,
and you're a lucky dog, dude.
I'm telling you, man.
Seriously, when I met you, I was like, damn, dude.
Right, I did something right.
Damn.
Something worked out. But honestly, it's just, and if you need something written, like a really good story, or if you have an idea that you need brought into like a script form, please contact us.
And that's the thing is too. There's so many ideas script-wise. I want to write a Gen X script, but I will be contacting and now no more from Candace. I'm like,
Yes.
I would love to get on that. Something
Yes.
I really want to do.
Let's
She
do
feeds
it.
on this stuff.
Let's
She's
do it.
Let's do it.
fantastic.
Let's do it.
And then have
Alright.
Kane do the soundtrack.
Yes.
I'll do the soundtrack and do the special effects, make a music video.
A modern day Gen X film with people our age and living in the world now is really kind of the perspective I wanted to go from.
Mhm.
And that's a perfect way to develop it. Too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because we're all-
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. So the studio you work in here, you have your own personal studio here.
Yes, I built my own personal studio. It was a garage. It is now a full-fledged green screen. I mean, nothing to this massive scale, but I'll tell you what, I'm very happy with it.
I mean, this isn't really Las Vegas behind us?
Well, this is. I'm talking about this.
Oh, this.
Everything that you don't see.
That's right.
But no, it's a perfect little studio for me.
Kane is a vocalist too. I mean,
Yes.
and I'll be honest. Again, I come from live theater, live performance, and dude, you got some vocal chops.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, man.
Back to the basics. That ain't an easy song to sing.
Oh, you
It's
tried.
not. It's ranging.
I would love to sing it sometime while you're performing.
I would love to have that happen. I actually have a number that I do it to it now, and I really want the video playing behind it. We can have the video playing and have you sing it live.
I would love that.
I would love to have it. We'll make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I almost said it that way. I'm like, yeah.
We can here.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. On this show, we can cuss. Again, I try to treat people like we're hanging out at my bar in Amarillo, Texas, the R&R bar. And
We do want to check that out.
I do like to, again, I'm known for my drunk cams and my drinking pistol holiday stuff. I do like to end my segments with each of my guests, and no pressure to have a shot with me.
Let's
Again,
do it.
I haven't drank in 2 months, so I'm going to be like, oh, I gotta get out.
Yeah, we're not either. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
But would y'all like a shot of whiskey with me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Y'all,
We would love that.
you watchers at home, pull out your liquor. Let's have a shot together. So
Join us for a shot.
So join us for a shot. Any upcoming projects you want to promote while I'm pouring the shots?
We are working on the second episode of Lucille. It is a 6-part series.
What?
So your character, of course, will be returning, as well as most of the characters that are in the first episode.
And I gotta be a little candid on that. As I've gotten older, I'm such a reluctant performer. Again, I perform live on stage. I liked being a director, producer, and all that. Acting is one of those things I don't usually like to do it. I'm like,
But you killed it,
oh,
man.
you're way too kind.
it.
I was like,
You killed it.
again, you did it, and it was given to me. I was like, you want me? Okay.
Couldn't have been anyone else.
We-
It couldn't have been.
We have
Yeah.
zero regrets with Lucille.
Oh.
And anybody that was involved. Every person stepped up and brought their A game.
I was pouring like extra shots here. I was like, wait, here we
Everybody
go.
can-
Everyone have a shot. Maria can have a shot with us. I'm all like, but cheers.
Cheers.
Again,
to
thank
make
you.
Vegas a creative
Yes.
place.
Yes.
Absolutely, and thank you all so much. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. You
I
guys
love
are
seeing you
great,
too, brother.
and yes, it's words can't express my appreciation for you both, honestly. And I had to have you on my first show here.
Thank
We
you very
feel blessed
much.
to be
We're
your brother.
honored.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you for
honored to
having us.
have you both. Thank you. Cheers!
Salud!
Let's have a shot. We're going to take a break here after the shot. And bring in our next guest, Greg Korin. Ooh, all righty. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in a moment here on Take One with Ronnie Lloyd Nanos.
Now on digital and DVD.
Hit it.
Space Wars Quest for the Deep Star is an epic sci-fi adventure.
Do what needs to be done.
An edge-of-your-seat wild ride.
We have company.
Tons of popcorn-munching fun. 5 stars. A love letter to the sci-fi films of the 70s and 80s. With plenty of action and fun for all. You need to see it. You really do.
The captain just decided it's time to go.
I am ready for a sequel. Experience a bold new adventure. Space Wars Quest for the Deep Star.
A good old-fashioned adventure.
Now on digital and DVD.
Hi, I'm Deacon T with Modern Word Ministries. It's great to be with you today. Just a short little promo for our show. Every Sunday morning we have service, and you can follow us at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on modernwordministries.org. And if you missed us or you want to see some of our older messages, go ahead and check us out on socialmediashows.com every single morning at 9 a.m. It's a great way to kick off your day, get a little bit of the word in you, get something uplifting, get you started off on your way. You know, if you're looking for prayer or you need some help, reach out to us. If you go to our website, again, that's modernwordministries.org, you can interact with me via telephone, via DM, text message, whatever you want. I'll get right back to you. So if you need prayer, you need help, you just need somebody to talk to, Modern Word Ministries is here for you. We are your church in the community. So until you see you next time, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
Las Vegas, here we come!
I can't believe we were all moving to Vegas.
I know, right? It's a dream come true.
Wow, super creepy dude.
Mason, stop. I think he heard you.
What if he has someone locked up in the back of his cinema? She's gone. Someone took her.
Who's that creepy trucker?
What are you doing?
They call me Mother Trucker.
Hi there, everyone, with Ronnie Lloyd Nanos, and I'm really, really excited about our next guest. I have known this gentleman, I know, where is he? I've known this gentleman since really I started working here in entertainment in Las Vegas. You're part of like the gig for me that started it all for all the other work that I've been so blessed to get to do out here. And
that's so cool.
We met on we met doing the show Evil Dead the Musical.
Evil Dead the Musical.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my friend, Greg Korin, who is a stage performer, a film actor. He's also, you were for a time the director of Evil Dead the Musical at that time.
Yeah, for about a year.
And Greg is also a filmmaker, a film artist who is also on the SAG board, the Screen Actors Guild board here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, hi Greg, how are you?
Hi Ronnie,
how
you
you
been? Long time no see.
How the fuck are you, motherfucker?
Oh, fucking A.
And we've met a couple times.
Yeah.
But
let me tell you, this fucking guy right here.
This fucking guy. No, honestly, I am so happy to have you here.
I'm
Greg.
happy to be here, Ronnie.
Yeah,
it's always
Greg is one of the funniest fucking people I know, to be honest. And we can talk like this.
Yeah.
We can talk like this on this show, but Greg,
But
yes.
it's just always so delightful being around you anyway, Ronnie.
No,
It's
fuck yeah,
just
you
great.
too. Always.
Fucking
Always,
A.
Greg. I'm like, gosh, the history of, and we probably said, the F word. We can say it again, fuck. I'm like, a few times, and we probably said it probably hundreds of times around each other. We worked together on.
Oh, yes.
To start out that off, we worked together on a show on the Las Vegas Strip, which, has a history. It was actually the first community theater show that made it to the Las Vegas Strip.
Yes, it
From
was.
the Onyx Theater to Planet Hollywood to the Tommy Wynn Theater and then it went to Bally's. I wasn't part of it. It went to Bally's. We were both gone by then.
Yeah,
It
by
was
that
Evil
time.
Dead the musical. And a little tidbit today. I had a conversation with you yesterday. You recently, with Evil Dead, was, the film was directed by Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi.
And
yes.
you recently were hanging out with Sam Raimi's
Son.
Fuck yeah. So, how was that? Let's talk about that right now.
It was absolutely delightful. It was fantastic. Let me fill you in on what happened. Sam Raimi's son is going to UCLA.
What?
Film school. UCLA Film School.
Nice.
And I get a message about a week ago from Mike Estes, who is Bruce Campbell's right-hand man.
You've also met Bruce Campbell.
Yes.
In Salt Lake City.
Yep. And Mike says Raimi's kid is doing his student film at UCLA, and he needs a guy. I think you would be perfect for him. So
nice.
I got in touch with him. Last weekend, I was working on this little student film, and again, it was really delightful. I was the oldest guy there, and I was like, here's me and all these 19, 20, 20-year-old, 21-year-old kids.
I know that fucking feeling.
Oh yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God, fuck.
But they were all, but they weren't brats.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
They were complete. They were so fucking respectful. And oh, Greg, I'm sorry. Can you do this? Oh, Greg, I'm sorry. Can you move your head this way? And it was always, oh, hey, I'm sorry to ask you this, but, and they were all just so nice and polite. And I'm going to go back again. We have 2 more days to shoot on it, so I'm going to go back this Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
It was so joyful.
I keep throwing names next to it because it's Craig Korin here. I'm like, Craig is doing
well, fuck me.
Fuck.
But it was so fucking nice to be there, man, because again, these kids weren't brats.
Awesome.
They were professional.
Oh, that's neat. Again, I love that you say that because I think half the time with some of us that are of a certain age,
yes,
that all the time I feel like I'm that old. It's like, get the fuck off my lawn, kid.
Oh,
seriously. And I'm fine with being old and doing that. I'm like, I'm old and curmudgeon. I don't give a fuck. But I like that aspect of it. I'm like, and it kind of reminds me the first time I met you at rehearsals of Evil Dead. I came in at that time as the choreographer to re-choreograph a show that was already on the strip. Re-choreographing the entire show while it was performing.
Yeah.
I found out during that time when I was here re-choreographing the show that the performers weren't paid for rehearsals. And I was only allowed 12 hours a week for rehearsals. And I gotta kind of give a little shout out to that group in that time. Why it was really a big moment for me was that I remember pulling in the cast on the second rehearsal going, guys, I'm only allowed to rehearse with you 12 hours this week, and to do what I would like to do, that's not enough time. So here's what I'm going to put out there, because I knew you guys weren't getting paid for rehearsals. I couldn't believe that. I didn't know that till I got here.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember going, this is what I'm going to do. Rehearsals each day, the 4 days a week we're allowed to rehearse, will start, I'll be here 2 hours before that call time, and I'll stay here 2 hours after. And you're welcome to be here. I can't make you.
Mm-hmm.
And the very next day, every person showed up 2 hours early because they really want. And as a person coming in on a production staff, to have a group that really wanted to do something and change it up and make it something cool, and it made me fall in love with that group. And yeah, I want to do it, but do you remember what you told me? You came up to me and like, hey, I'm whatever age old it was, but I'm like, I don't know about much fucking memory. Do you remember?
Yes.
Let them know.
Yes. Oh, I'm like, hey, I'm 60 years old. I'm overweight, I have arthritis, and I have diabetes. Go easy on me.
And I was like, you can do this, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you did. You kicked some ass, dude. You really did.
It was kind of said, fuck you.
No. maybe not. But, again, you were part of that group that came in, and I got to work with y'all for 3.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we did some really great changes again.
Oh, fantastic. And it was shit that needed to be done.
Yeah, it did. Well, honestly, the director at that time, who I knew from Texas, I'd been in his wedding, and we had a falling out after all that for lots of various reasons that we may touch on. And again, I would like to do that
with everybody.
I would like to do that with the entire cast sometime because that director we ended up they saw their way out. I'll put it that way. And I was friends with that person coming here, and I remember having a lunchtime conversation with him. And we may go a little over on this segment, just we have a lot to talk about, maybe. But I told him, your choreography in that show, it's on YouTube. It's not original, and I offered to do it, and for the price. And I've got to look back at that time. Because when that period ended, I didn't receive the compensation that we had agreed on in the contract. And that was fine. I was doing it for a friend. I'm like, what do you have? And he gave me some money. I'm like, I'm going to take the cast down the final night. And we all went out drinking.
Yes, we did.
We did. But
we got our drink
again, I have no regrets because of what that opened for me. And I was like, there were a lot of ups and downs during that time.
Yeah, there was.
But I'll never regret that time because it did open up a lot for me here.
Yeah.
And
well, you were lucky. We were all lucky, actually.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Montana. And the saying there is we really stepped in shit.
Yeah, we did.
Because you came into by the time you got there, we'd been working together for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of had like a no asshole policy. So everybody, we liked each other.
You all did like each other. You didn't like all the production staff at that time.
No, we did not.
The music director at that time wasn't particularly popular. Shit is starting to be talked here now.
The music rehearsals. The music rehearsal. We had an hour for music rehearsals.
He wasn't very nice.
No, and we'd actually rehearse.
He
the
was
music.
A total asshole.
Oh, we'd actually rehearse the music for 10 minutes, and then for the next 45 minutes, he'd talk shit about everybody.
And then he got paid.
Yeah,
he got paid to go and critique you, and all he did was fucking tear you all to pieces. And I remember he was a bully. Mm-hmm. He was a fucking. Do you remember this was the second or third rehearsal? And he came in and he was watching with the director, and I had at that time had become friends with the financier producer who was always cut out of stuff. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He came in and started spouting it, but you can't do this, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we're gonna go outside and we're gonna have a talk right now.
Yeah. I remember that.
I think that's what kind of set the cast. I think that's what I kind of gained their respect, to be honest.
Yeah.
I walked out and I'm going to speak a little candidly here. I let this motherfucker have it. I don't like bullies. And I was like, you ever fucking come in here and interrupt my rehearsal and talk to this cast that way, you and I are going to have a fucking problem. I turn to the director. You know me. Don't ever let this fucker come in and talk to these people. How dare you do that? He was belittling. He was an asshole. Mm-hmm. And everyone was afraid of him. And then I walked back in rehearsal, closed the door, started. I'm like, and just so everybody knows, I won. Now let's get back to rehearsal.
I totally remember that. I totally remember that.
That was my introduction to Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
again,
totally remember that.
I kind of have that reputation as a bar owner and even working here. I like to get shit done.
Well, that's okay. Like you said, you get shit done.
And I'm not always the nicest about it. I just like to get shit done.
Yeah.
Again, and it's never coming from a bad place.
No.
And that's my thing is I like people that want to work. And again, that cast captured my heart because they wanted to work. And
yes.
How dare he treat them that way?
Well, see, we knew that we had something special.
You did.
We knew that. We all knew that, and we wanted it to be the best that it could be. Mm-hmm. Which is why we were so happy when we were told that you were coming in to I mean, we didn't know you from Adam.
Right, and I knew that you guys were like, oh, who's this guy going to be? I knew that.
Yeah,
I knew that.
But we were just kind of like, oh, geez, what's going to happen now? I mean, this needs to happen. This needs to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, we were doing fucking community theater choreography.
It was stolen.
It's stolen
it was
from
not
YouTube
even. It was
videos.
stolen from YouTube videos.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Okay.
I have that song comes up on in my car every once in a while.
Right.
Yeah. If my grandkids are in the car, I have to turn it down.
Oh right. Yeah. If the grandkids are watching right now.
No, they're in school.
Good. We didn't say fuck 25 times already. But no. Again, I want to touch a lot on Evil Dead. We could go on forever on this.
Oh, we really could. Yeah.
But we're going to move on a little bit on that. You are on the SAG board.
I am. I kind of fell into that. 6 years ago, I ran and I lost.
That's right.
I didn't get in. The guy who beat me and ended up on the SAG board, who we all know and who we were just talking about.
We were just talking about that. Again, I was going to say, you replaced a very controversial figure here in the film industry here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes.
You know, again, we're not here to shit talk, but it's the truth. He may be watching. He watches this a lot. Hi.
Oh, but it's like we're like what? And you know, when I first came to town, he kind of struck me as being kind of like
he's a bully.
Yeah, yeah. And I said, the day will come. The day will come. Just you wait, Buster.
Mm-hmm.
And the
I
day.
had words with him too.
Oh yeah, and the day did come. The day. Oh, I've read those.
Gosh, I must be some fucking toxic male here. You know what? I'm not perfect.
Yep. Well, but the day will come, I told him. And the day did come. He got kicked off the board.
Whoops.
Yep. For a number of reasons.
Shocker.
Yes. And I don't know all of the reasons, but I know that one of them, he was caught doing non-union
Maria's
stuff.
probably getting a lot of messages right now.
She's over there.
Shocker.
And he's still around. He showed up at a SAG meeting back in January, and he's not even in the union anymore. He left the union.
On social media, he goes by a different name, thinking people aren't going to know who he is.
Yeah, but we all know.
We all know.
Because he loves to talk about himself.
It's like sometimes I just need a dusty flyer out there somewhere.
Oh God, you are so bad.
I'm not. That's good. I'm like a dusty flyer. I'm like, what's that mean? I don't know.
It's like a rusty trombone.
Oh my God! I said, you know what? I need a fucking shot after that right now. We're gonna have a shot. Cheers to you, brother. This is actually an old adage between you and I. We were sharing this earlier that Greg, Korin, and I have our birthdays 1 week apart. And during Evil Dead, and when I was coming back during that time, after I choreographed that show and it started my kind of entertainment career here in Las Vegas, I used to come about once a month for like a weekend or whatnot to brush up, rehearse with the cast and whatnot. And then before I started taking away, cheers, brother.
Ooh, thank you, my friend.
Thank you. But since our birthdays were a year apart, if I wasn't in town, we'd call each other and video chat and do a shot together. So here's to that. Cheers to doing that. And never had a flask at rehearsal, never. I'm gonna think I'm a big old fucking lush now. I don't care.
You know,
I'm not. I don't think people realize I'm not even a big drinker. I'm a stoner. But
well, I am too, dude.
I'm an owner of a bar. I deal with drunk assholes all the time. I'm not a drunk asshole because I don't drink very much.
Oh, what's weird is like there's a pirate bar right by my house.
What?
Yes, called the Rum Runners.
Oh.
And they've got all the sailboats up and everything.
Oh my God, I saw a movie called The Rum Runners, but it's this whole different kind of perspective.
I bet it is.
Oh my word.
But I was in there one night and we were talking about the strike. We were talking about the SAG strike.
Nice.
There was a guy who, oh shit, I can't remember what he did, but he was involved in film somehow, some way.
Right.
And he wanted the details on it. So I gave it to him and he bought me a couple of shots. And I had not had a shot. I was
That's been 2 months for me right now.
Oh yeah, same amount of time, but I was drinking these tall, great big beers.
Right.
And so I got 3 shots off of this guy, and the beers, and finally I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go home. And I just, fortunately, it's like 100 yards from my front door, so I just stumbled out.
Right.
And I come back in about a week later, and the bartender's in there. She said, "Do you know that you ordered a whole thing of food and just left it here?"
Never done that before.
Oh no, this guy just got me so messed up. I had like a hamburger and everything right there, and I just walked right out the door. So
a little longer.
So I'm like, I told her, I said, well, yeah, so every time I go in there now and Corey's working, I say, I just came in to order some food and leave it here.
Right.
So,
Oh my God. I haven't asked, how's the wife? I love her. I love her wife too.
She's doing okay. She's still doing the social work thing.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. Greg, you did touch right now the SAG strike, and again, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about you being on the SAG board and working in the film industry. The strike for the actors and the writers right now. It's the longest writers' strike ever in history right now. How is that affecting our industry here in Las Vegas?
Well, here in Las Vegas,
there's not a lot of SAG.
No, there's
There's not.
There, in fact, we have no studios that are operating. No SAG signatories. They're you've got the film scene here, and that's happening, and that's cool. But as far as SAG,
we didn't get to work together. I was going to cast you in a film, or we were going to work in a film together. I think a Space Captain Cliss, and you can do because you were a SAG member, and we couldn't go fight Cora at that time. If I'm correct.
Yeah, and which I was.
We need to work together again. By the way,
yes, we do. But there's nothing. There are no signatories here in Las Vegas, so really we're not striking. We are, but we aren't.
Right.
So what we do is we do social media opportunities, photo ops. We were just 2 weeks ago.
Social media networks.
How about that?
Huh? Hello there.
Woo! 2 weeks ago, we were down at the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign.
Oh, nice.
And it was fucking great, man. We had like 100 people there. It was the SAG board, us. And then there were like 20 or 30 SAG members, local SAG members there. Mm-hmm. But what blew me away was Writers Guild showed up.
Oh, nice.
There are some Writers Guild members teaching at UNLV.
Nice.
Writers Guild showed up. Culinary Union showed up.
Fuck yeah.
The Carpenters Union showed up. Those blue shirts are everywhere you look these days. Teamsters showed up.
What do you think's going to resolve this? I mean, I'm hoping soon. I do want, again, I want our writers, and I want this to get resolved because I love now that after the pandemic that the film industry seems to be in an uprise and whatnot, but with people need to get paid again. You're making crap again. I even saw you posted a residual check recently and I'm like, and it was pennies.
$1.44,
and that's got to change again. Greg, I wanted to share with your audience here that Greg actually played Paul Rudd's father on
Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh, wait, that's not a porn, I promise.
No, it's kind of a cult movie.
It is, actually. I love that film, honestly.
Written by the people from The State. I don't know if you remember The State.
I do.
TV.
Yes, absolutely.
David Wayne and Mike Showalter.
Yes.
The movie was Paul Rudd, Amy Poehler, Bradley Cooper.
Oh my gosh.
Janine Garofalo, Kenny Marino, David Hyde Pierce.
Gosh, wow.
Was on hiatus from Frasier, and he actually came out and shot this weird ass little fucking movie.
That's fucking awesome. Right?
And it was great. It was a great experience. Paul Rudd's such a nice guy.
He seems like it. I'm glad to hear that it seems authentic.
Just a wonderful guy. But we sat in this hot car for 5 hours, and both of us were just farting like crazy.
Shocker.
So the windows were all rolled down.
Honda farts. Absinthe gives me Honda farts.
Absence makes your fart go Honda.
I remember that. But Greg, I could talk with you forever. I could. Again, I have to start to wrap this up again. I wanted to talk a little bit here. Again, this is I want to do an official. I want to bring it at some time. I would love to have the Evil Dead cast from that time and kind of hash out some of these things. I think we do need a little bit of closure. Again, it's a welcome and open invitation.
We really do. You're right.
And it'd be great. Again, I would love to see some of those faces. And again, it's not to destroy anybody. I don't want to destroy the previous director or even the fucking music director at the time, dickhead. But just to talk. And it's all grieved out there. And I think it'd be kind of a cool thing because it's such a big deal to have the first community theater show that made it from community theater to the Strip. Yes. And the denouement. And vocabulary points there.
But I know what you meant, though.
I know you do.
Yeah.
And that the closing was so minuscule that it deserved a little better closing than it did.
Oh, we sure did.
And the move from Planet Hollywood to the Tommy Wynn Theater, there were issues with that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to discuss this. So this is an open invite to the cast and crew of Evil Dead from that time period, or just people that were in the show. Again, it's not to negate the fans or people that were subsidiary, but those of us that went through that, I would like to invite that again. We had a show. You want another shot?
Oh, I'd love to.
Let's have one more. Well, fuck, I'm having an extra shot
Fucking
here. But Greggy, thank you for being part of my first
thank you. I'm
show.
This is a
here.
privilege.
No, it's a
Ronnie.
privilege
This is
to
an absolute
see
privilege.
you.
This is just great.
And it is just a privilege to see you as well. And you are so full of so much knowledge. And this is a dude who's been around in the industry a long time. You've been in the ups and downs. You've struggled for finances being in the industry, but you choose this art form because you love it.
I do.
And I do too.
50 years.
Fuck yeah, dude.
50
Oh my God.
years.
Since I was 1.
1973 I started.
Fuck yeah, dude.
There we go.
I love you, dude. I love you, brother.
too, Ronnie.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Stay tuned, and we'll be bringing on our next guest, Lily Starr, in just a moment.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provide.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
Hi, welcome back to Take One with Ronnie Lloyd Nanos. Well, gosh, that was quite a hoot on that one with Mr. Greg Korin. But I wanted to welcome our next guest, Miss Lily Starr, who is my co-producer here in Las Vegas for our shows Queer As, I can say fuck here, and Burlesque and Speakeasy. And Lily's always great to have you. Lily, I gotta kind of give our little history. I met Lily Starr. Gosh, I think it's now 9 years ago, when I started coming out here to Vegas for Evil Dead the musical. I was brought in to re-choreograph the show, and I wasn't even a burlesque performer at the time. Pistol Holiday did not exist.
But you were a dancer.
I was, but I think a lot of people don't even understand that even if you're a theater person or a dancer, it doesn't always mean burlesque.
No,
there's a whole other
absolutely
aspect of it. But Lily was teaching at the doesn't exist anymore, the Las Vegas School of Burlesque, run by Cha-Cha Valora. I love Cha-Cha. And was one of my first teachers. And of course I had an affinity for her because she was a dancer. She taught a very movement-oriented class. But yeah, I used to come in even during Evil Dead that once a month, and I would make sure I would go take class with Lily Starr and a lot of the other instructors, which included Buttercup and Aya Fontaine and Lulu Roxy. And so that's how I met Lily before I was Pistol Holiday. And she was there when I, again, started in here. And so I'm always thankful. I wanted to bring on guests to the show or hear from my beginnings that I like to give back to the community in the ways, not in those ways that people are like, I'm giving back to the community. I hate that shit. I give back to the people who really helped me and did for me. And I knew that if I was ever going to produce live entertainment or live burlesque shows out here, that this was going to be my co-producer again. And that's where we're at on that. So welcome to the show, Lily. Thank you for being part of, the group that popped my cherry for the first show here.
Well, I thought I'd bring a little bit of the pistol part of Pistol Lily to the show today.
I did the cowboy with my friends today, but I had to be a little burlesque with the shoes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so did I. You know me, no heels. I never wear heels. Right. But I was like, I gotta bring the Pistol Lily look.
Absolutely.
Here, so.
Yeah, we've collaborated together. We do a Pistol Lily's vaudeville out here. We produced those two shows. Again, I wanted to discuss some of the things. Again, we're actually leaving from here today to go and scout a location for our speakeasy show. And some of the things I wanted to touch about, Lily's been a guest here on social media networks on a few of the shows with Maria and different hosts here. And a lot of what I want to do with this show is give the people the plus and minuses of working in Las Vegas entertainment. And no, we've had some difficulty, not so much securing a venue. If we wanted to have a venue and doing it in a random bar, and nothing wrong with that, I'm a bar owner, I'm not putting bars down, we could do that.
Right.
Speakeasy, in particular, is a very kind of special event show.
Yeah, you can't call it speakeasy and
have it anywhere.
Have it anywhere.
And we've had a couple of venues. The first venue was done at was at the Red Palms on the Las Vegas Strip, which I don't think exists anymore. And they kind of fell through because that whole mosaic where all that, they got demolished.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're building new shit there.
See, I don't pay
it's prime real estate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we wanted to take it to a few other places that kind of fell through. That tends to happen a lot with a lot of venues, especially we're looking for it has to be a certain je ne sais quoi.
Absolutely.
For lack of better words for speakeasy. And,
absolutely.
And I've even talked about it. If this doesn't work this time, it doesn't work. But it's one of those. Again, it's not to put down any of the other producers here in town. We're not here to do that.
No.
But this show needed something special.
Absolutely.
I can honestly say I think we're the highest paying show.
Yeah. Or at least on par.
On par.
Yeah.
And we always have had a burlesque legend.
Yep.
Every single time with our Queer as Fuck and with Speakeasy. The difficulties of finding a venue. How has that been? At least share that. You cut your hair, girl. Looks good.
A little bit.
Damn.
I got tired of the fuzzies.
I get it.
So no, I think what the problem is it's Vegas.
Yeah.
And this is like entertainment city, right?
Yes.
And there's just so much out there. So when we're looking for a special place, then there's also the possibility of rules, financials, and stuff that just don't really go hand in hand with what we're doing, and laws, and it just makes it really difficult. A lot of times, like we found out, like to do what we do the way we do it, is basically you need to have a private event.
Yes.
And or it has to be like a closed venue where there's a ticket and a door.
Yes.
Where the general public aren't just there.
Right, and I think some of it...
With a liquor license.
And some of it, too, is, again, we always wanted to make sure we paid a certain par for it. And even break even as producers. Sometimes you lose money. We've lost money on a show. We broke even. It's not as easy as people think it is.
No.
And especially you want to make sure... I also come from the perspective, I'm a venue owner in Texas as well, that you want to make the venue money too. I think I see a lot of this on social media. People are like, and the venue, we're doing this. You're like, you're not bringing them shit that they don't already have. You've got to make sure, from a good business perspective, that you're making them money as well.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that.
Yep. Well, I just had this conversation with my husband.
With what we want to pay a performer.
Absolutely, because that really ups our budget.
Absolutely.
So the thing is
I mean, we could pay them $50, but we don't want to do that.
No, and
we're strippers. We're showing our stuff. We're going to pay more than that. I don't want to be paid $50.
Exactly, and the thing is that I was literally just having the conversation with my husband. Is the concept of, we don't really have the power, because in this town, if we don't do a show there, somebody else will bring something in. So you can't go into a venue and say, no, we need this. No, we want this.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to look at you and go, yeah, right.
Right.
Don't let the door hit you.
Because everybody's a producer in town. I don't think people know what that is sometimes.
it may not work out great, but somebody else will come in.
Yeah.
It could end up not being as good as it would have been. It could be better than what we
It
might
could
have done.
be, but very often those places
don't
still
care.
close because they don't make their money back again. And producers, again, it's one of those things that's not just a
You
crapshoot.
need to bring something that's going to make the bar money.
And there's got to be a business sense behind it. Everyone claims business sense. And I have a big pet peeve of that. I do. We've had these conversations. And again, to go with the concept where I've been talking with each of our guests, do we ever have heated conversations?
Oh, heck yes.
Fuck yeah, we do.
Yep.
I'm like,
yep.
Our friendship and what we're moving on with.
No.
Absolutely not. I think that comes with being of a certain age. And again, all of my guests today were at least 45 years and older.
Absolutely.
And I chose that on purpose.
Yep.
And I'm not putting down people that are not of that age yet or whatnot. I mean, 'cause we'll get attacked by that. Hey, you're talking to me. I'm like, yeah. My fucking pussy hurts too, okay?
No, it's totally true because, when you're... once you reach that age, you know that argument was about that argument.
Yes.
And nothing else.
Yes. And some people hold on to that.
I mean, like, I'm going to name 2 names, Sugar Shagmore and Lunatic.
Oh, I love those people.
I adore both of them.
Yes.
And we will just be like, I say white, you say black, blah, 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 back and forth.
Absolutely.
And then we're like, okay, see you tomorrow.
We've totally done that.
Yeah. What time tomorrow?
Even in particular, social media shows and whatnot, there's been producers or hosts and whatnot that they had a falling out, and then they go on social media and they attack, and this is the scum of the earth, and I had to call attorneys and blah, 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 blah. Like, all of a sudden everybody has a fucking attorney. I'm like, no, you don't, and if you do, mine are better than yours.
Yeah.
What?
And, well, no, the other side of the hilariousness of that is also when you get older, you realize, okay, you know what? That person I can be professional with.
Right.
But they're not somebody I need to work with all the time. So you can recognize that also. So that avoids problems.
I think we get to a perspective too when we're older too. Again, that some days people have a bad day.
Absolutely, and you just go, okay,
yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I have met a new person and I get a weird vibe, and I'm really good with vibes with people.
Are.
Okay,
I'll test that.
I'll get a weird vibe from someone. And then, I don't know, months later, whatever, I'll run into somebody else who I know is closer with them. And I'll let them know, I'll go, when I was around them, I got this really weird vibe.
Right.
We were at the blah, blah, blah. And generally, that person will go, oh, yeah, well, they just wrecked their car that day. Or something that I had no idea. I'd never met them
Exactly.
before.
Again.
And I go, okay, that explains it. I didn't harbor ill will against them or anything the whole time, but now I know.
In the last 2 years, I've dealt with a lot of personal stuff, dealing with a partner whose health wasn't in the best thing, and we're in a much better spot now, but it took a lot of fucking work to get there.
Yeah.
I don't regret anything I've done to make sure he got there.
No, absolutely.
Was I always the most pleasant person to be fucking around now?
Absolutely not.
and I can say that. She can say that. Some people, if you were to say that and agree with it, be like, I can't believe you said that, Lily. No, I wasn't. Fuck.
Totally. But I literally was like,
yeah,
he's in a place.
Yeah, I mean, again, and that was my thing. I don't regret any. Again, I had employees I fired this year because I don't regret that. They weren't doing what I needed them to be done. And my perspective on that was, I'm like, if you're making me have to work harder on shit, I don't hire you to make my job harder.
Right.
Then you're not going to work out. I've gotten better about not exploding about it. I've gotten better like,
well, I can talk about this.
Or not even that great. This isn't working out.
Yeah.
And if we continue, then it will get to that. So I avoid that. Again, does that mean I don't have my moments of, I've had that even with people in the burlesque community, even recently, even locally here. And then it's like, hey, but then you drop it. I go, hey, you pissed me off. I pissed you off. We move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Have we ever pissed each other off?
Yes.
Do I love you?
Absolutely.
Do you love me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we move on? We're like, all right, yeah.
Yep.
And again, we could be on, and we're on the phone for hours at a time. She's a chatter, I'm a chatter.
Yeah.
Even like I said, even though the stuff, I'm going to hit the elephant in the room. Right now with GLCC and all this, there's been a lot of turmoil and trauma, and people feel tribal, like they got to take a side. I had the guests on earlier, Bones and Gabby. It's been very controversial to move and whatnot. we're both part of the original generation of GLCC. You've been my mentors that started, not in GLCC, but here in Vegas, but you were a mentor in that became a protege.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of followed that kind of footsteps.
Manager.
Stage manager and all that. I've been was a mentor under the original creator of GLCC, Gabriella Mays. I love the winner. I don't always see eye to eye with her either. I love her.
Yeah.
I love her.
Me too.
Sometimes I'm like, bitch, you're crazy. I love you. And I say it to her. We have those kind of candid conversations, as I know you do with her.
Absolutely.
Girl, Gabby, you fucking crazy bitch. I love you. I love you. But god damn it. But then we're like, okay, we move on.
See, my perspective is usually like, and this is with anybody,
absolutely,
especially anybody I care about, is as hot-headed as I can get when I get passionate about it. It's usually because I'm passionate about something.
Or our feelings get
and
hurt.
I'm very
We're human
sensitive,
beings.
which people don't realize
We can
because
get
I
our
have
feelings.
this whole
Yeah, me
outside.
too. But we get our feelings. We're allowed to get our feelings hurt and verbalized. My feelings are hurt.
But when I'm talking with like Gabriella, good friend, any
I love
other
her.
good friend,
She's
but
a
I'm
legend.
saying like I freaking love her.
For me, it was an honor to be chosen by her.
Actually, absolutely. And actually, all the legends that I'm close with, which is a number of them, I'm like this with all of them, where I'm just like...
And that's going to take me to our next thing when you're talking about that.
Well, you know what? I know you're really upset, but maybe it was really just this.
Right.
And it's just a way of like... You know, there's like getting somebody out of the intensity of being upset. And people do that to me.
Absolutely.
One of the best people is Molly Boom, but well, you know what? And Ivy Fairy. You know what?
Ivy Fairy, love her.
Maybe
love her.
Or maybe we could just look at it this way. And usually I'm in a mood. I'm like, I ain't looking at it any other way.
No, wait. No, I've never experienced that with you ever.
But no, but like, that's the thing. Exactly. But that's the thing. And that's, you know, of course. And this is the thing I love about Gabriella Mays. Her and I are so much alike. That's what's hilarious. Is literally so much alike. And we've talked about this, where we're just like, I want to be mad right now.
Right.
And then like 10 minutes later, we're like, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. You mean like human beings?
Yeah.
I wanted to touch that. I'm going to go a little bit longer too with Lily, about 5 more minutes on that. And I wanted to touch that because you have a perspective with our burlesque legends that a lot of the burlesque community doesn't have. And I wanted to touch that because, again, you had a very close relationship with Gabriella, with Marinka. You helped get her book out and helped her finish writing it and whatnot. And I think a lot of the burlesque community, when they refer to the legends and the legends and this and that, and I was so close and
like a celebrity kind of thing.
And that's a wonderful thing. And I love that for them. I love that. But we do know them as human beings sometimes, or even some of the... We book some in different places, and some are kinds of pains in the asses. And
like we all are.
Like we all are. That's my point, because they're human beings as well. And that's the point. They're human beings. I've even had heated conversations with legends. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, you know. But I do love about some of these broads, because they're these great old broads, some of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and not all broads. I mean, we recently lost Vic Carroll this last year, and Vic was a bit to deal with sometimes. And I roomed with him. I love Vic, and I love Marinka. You dealt with Marinka. Was Marinka always pleasant to deal with?
Nope.
Why? Because she's a human being.
Yep.
I'm great friends with Tiffany Carter. I love Tiffany. I do. But I'm like, you know, sometimes it's a little extra maintenance just because they're human beings.
Absolutely.
They're old strippers.
Yeah.
And
well, the reason that you want to say extra maintenance is not because they're like anything super different.
No, they're like us.
But it's because of their status.
Yes.
And we want to respect that.
And we do.
And as opposed to like regular people that don't have that status. But
we don't pedestalize them in the way that people do.
No, but we still know that that's who they are.
Absolutely.
So it just makes it a little different in how you feel about everything.
Well,
and like, I'll say this, like there's times where I'll be like in front of the younger girls and I'll be like, you guys, I know you think I'm the worst person in the world because everybody's idolizing.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, but there's also an age difference for me. Where these legends are like literally either younger than my own mother or around my mother's age, And I was
Me
like,
too.
and when my mom's being a pain in the ass,
You tell her.
I friggin' tell her.
And we
so I was
do
like,
that.
so if my own mother doesn't get a pass, and neither do the legends.
That's right. And it doesn't mean we're being disrespectful. I
But
respect
they
them.
tell me too. They'll be like, Lily.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a friendship.
I've had conversations with someone. I'm like, I've cussed up a storm, and they cuss right back at me. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, fuck yeah.
No,
Goddamn.
it's a friendship. It's
Yeah,
totally
it is.
friendship.
And
I
you
adore
cuss it
them
with
all.
your friends, and you get pissy and whatnot because you're friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. I adore them all. I do. I have utmost respect. Some of the first people I ever took class with before I was pissed on holiday at that Las Vegas Burlesque Festival was Tiffany Carter.
Yep.
Amazing chair class.
Yep.
Amazing. And again, I think a lot of people. I was talking earlier with Craig or a couple of people or even with Kane and them, that the last ism that seems to be acceptable, and especially in this society of people like, oh my God, this ism, you can't do that. But ageism seems to be accepted for some reason.
Yeah,
and they don't even realize they're talking about when they're even talking about the fucking legends. So again, I mean that with respect, that they treat them like old people. They treat them like, oh my God, but I love them. But do they ever go to their classes and think, I can know they love their stories and they say the right things, but they like, some of my best classes, Vic Carroll could teach a class that, as a dancer, I was fucking sore afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tiffany Carter's chair class. I've never taken the panel thing. It's not my thing.
Yeah, no,
But
that makes sense.
her chair class was awesome.
Yeah.
And the different classes I've taken from legends and whatnot will rival any burlesque performer, young, right now, that thinks they're giving a movement. And when Trina Parks' fucking dance class, oh my God, kicks ass.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I took Molly Boom Boom, and I took it a couple years ago at GLCC. But it's one of those things of... not Molly Boom Boom. It was Molly Boom Boom, yes.
It was Molly Boom Boom.
It was Molly Boom Boom.
No,
And bitch the year, and I mean bitch in the fucking got awards and fucking performed last year pregnant, and she's just kicks ass.
Yeah.
I love her. I
Love
adore
her.
I adore her.
Yep. I knew her before she was Molly Boom Boom, too.
Did you really?
Why? Because she came to my class.
What? Well, there you have it.
The same as Pistol Holiday.
There we go. There you have it. You know, Lily has also been a choreographer for Burlesque Hall of Fame. You know, I got to do one of your numbers, the Mickey one. That was great. And
I love that.
And again, so many great things. And we're talking about the plus and minuses in Las Vegas. And, you know, I think here in Vegas, I think people don't realize we have some of the most world-class performers in burlesque, some of the most world-class MCs, which include like Blanche Debris, Corvette now, Tana the Tattooed Lady. And again, always go to shows, always take class. I think you and I came from that same perspective. I was like, go to class.
Yeah.
You learn.
Absolutely.
Even if you think you're not going to learn something, you will learn. If you have invest in your careers.
And if you've been at it a long time, there's still just like that one thing.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my gosh, wait, who was it? Oh my gosh. When I took the tassel class, fire tassel class.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, and now I can't even remember what it was. Oh God, I'm the worst. I'm on the spot. It was
take one.
But it might come to me. But it was literally something
We're old, we can
about
forget
pasties that I had in 11 years, a million classes around a million different people doing a bunch of different shows with everybody talking about what they do for their pasties. And now that's the worst that I can't remember. But it was like, I was like, are you kidding me? It was like the simplest, most amazing thing in the world. She's talking about fire tassels, and I couldn't shut up about this one little tiny thing that she mentioned off the cuff.
I got to give you some perspective on that too. Recently, for me, working with the mentor, I've gotten to work with Lily Lunchstip. And also, most of our stuff, the past few weeks, we've been able to go through performances and watch on video and critique. But honestly, her mentoring to me, she was very upfront. Like, this is your number. You're going to do this. It's been in conversations. Her knowledge has been the best mentorship for me. And I think I'm a decently seasoned performer before burlesque and whatnot. But in burlesque, as a mentor, what she did for me was open my eyes in the burlesque world and things that just in conversations. I was like, I didn't think of it from that perspective and approaching it that way. And because the knowledge she actually teaches the class this coming week, I'm going to take too. That's just ask Lily. Because she just knows shit. Yeah. And that's the thing. People just know shit. And you don't have to be there doing fucking double pirouettes and whatnot. No. We like it when we can. Yeah. We feel good when we can. And I can get my leg here and all that. But when you just have the right knowledge going,
No,
I need to think of
there
it
you
from
go.
there.
Yeah.
Fuck. And it makes a
Well,
difference.
years ago, oh my God, like about 8 years or so ago now, when we had the Accidental Showgirls, I don't remember what I was doing, but Molly and Sugar, the original girls with
I
me.
haven't seen Sugar in such a long time.
They took her class like that, and they were like, it was phenomenal.
She just knows
It was
shit.
phenomenal.
She's great.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Lily, again, Lily and I could talk forever.
You could do
we
like
do.
a whole
I'm like,
8-hour
I'm
show.
not forcing anything on anybody. Would you like to do a shot with me on the Take One for
Do
Christmas?
a half a shot, and I will sip it.
All right, we will do that. I'm
Lily's
gonna do a half one.
Lily's not a big drinker.
I'm
or
not
a shot
either.
person.
I'm not either.
Yeah,
I'm a
but
shot
you
person.
can
I'm a
do
part. I
shots with
can.
me. I'm afraid it'll just come right the heck back out.
No, we have The Exorcist. There's an Exorcist
Exactly.
coming on.
The Exorcist version of,
But
of the Take
I wanted
One,
to
The
again
Exorcist.
thank you so much for being a
Oh,
part of my original show here.
So
my
you still
first
gave
time.
me more than you.
Oh. She noticed.
I know you've already had a few, but that's not.
I'm
the
alright.
point.
But thank you again. I wouldn't have done my first show without you, and I want to extend that. I am so thankful that you were one of the first friends I made out here in Las Vegas. One of the first people before I was a pistol holiday when I first worked in entertainment here in Vegas that used to give me rides back to my hotel.
Yep.
We smoked cigarettes together. I haven't smoked in years.
I
anymore,
know.
but it's all right.
That's also what we were doing when we came up with the idea for our duet.
I
We were
remember
having
that.
a
We were having cigarettes at the Sondheim show at the Onyx Theater.
Yep.
Again, I missed that little theater. Again, it was through the Herds, Katie and Troy Hurd at that time. It was a fun show.
Which now they have Majestic.
Yes,
which is
Majestic
awesome.
Theater. I've seen some really good stuff there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
And
let's
it's always
cheers.
a good time.
It always is. Cheers to everybody here. Thank you. Thank you for joining us here on Take One with Ronnie Lloyd Nanos. And till the next time we see you on this special occasion show, take one with me. Have a great time and go out there, entertain, and be awesome. Have a great day.